Hello everybody, welcome back to 20-minute strength, another exercise tutorial, and today we're looking at the banded march. The banded march is a unilateral core exercise, which means we're challenging one side of the core at a time. Now, creating this instability is really important because life is asymmetrical, and whether we're carrying a kid on one side, holding a bag of shopping on one side, pushing a door with one side, we're always going to be performing tasks that replicate this kind of instability. So it's really important to train it in any kind of strength training program. Now, the way we're going to create this instability and set up for our unbalanced exercise is by lying the band flat on the floor and standing towards one end of the band. So we've got most of the length this side. What we're going to do then is bend down, grab this side of the band and stand up nice and straight to create that tension in the band to start with. As always, we're going to go toes facing forward. The stance is going to be hips width apart. We've got a slight bend in the knees, tucking the tailbone, so thinking about driving the hips forward ever so slightly and depressing the rib cage down just to create that nice neutral spine. Now, the band is already going to be pulling you down a bit, but what I want you to do is stand nice and proud with the chest, roll the shoulders back and let them fall naturally, and imagine that string is attached to the top of your head and it's pulling you up nice and tall to create that lovely posture in this position. Now, from here, what we're going to do is just create that instability in that core work by marching with one leg at a time. So if I'm working my left side in this instance, so the band's on my left, that means I'm fighting the resistance of the band, which is trying to pull me down. My left leg is going to stay stationary. All that's going to happen from here is we're just going to create that instability by lifting the right knee up to hip height and then setting it back down. So we've got that tension in the band here, and then we create that need for the core to stabilize us by coming up onto one leg and setting it back down. Now, as you can see, this is relatively easy at this point, but what we can do to make it slightly harder is actually decrease the length of the resistance on this side by just wrapping it around our hands, bringing the hand closer towards our foot, and that way when we pull it back up and come back to our standing position, we feel that greater tension on this side with the band trying to pull us down even more. Now, when I march, my core is doing a little bit more work to ensure that I'm not getting pulled down this way, but I'm still staying stable in this marching position. To ensure that we're getting that right level of challenge, I want you to make sure that we're pausing at the top before we bring that leg back down. If we're just flying through it, this means that the core doesn't have much time to have to adapt to this position of instability, and therefore we're just not challenging ourselves as much as we could. Of course, to make this exercise more challenging, you can pick a higher resistance band that's going to want to pull you down even more, or you could use a weight. So you could grab challenging weight, let's use this water bottle in this case, and we will perform that standing march with the gravity of the weight wanting to pull us down in a similar fashion to the band. You're going to complete all the reps on one side before switching to the other and switching the leg that you lift. Of course, if this exercise feels too difficult at the start, I'd recommend reducing the resistance on the band or simply grabbing a sturdy chair or using the wall, and you can just use that as your safety net and come into this marching position until you feel ready to progress onto the band or the weight. As always, please make sure you follow and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with all of these exercise tutorials. And if you haven't checked it out already, head over to our website, have a look at our program and find out how you can get strong in just 3 20-minute workouts a week. Bye.